Welcome back to the Possibility Storm. I'm your host, Lane, and we're back with another game featuring Lord of the Rings Commanders. This was a bit of an odd episode because I had to stream on a different day due to some prior obligations, and as a result, this was a stream I was supposed to be a guest on, but ended up calling it a collab instead. Regardless, thanks to Your Dead Next Turn for letting me get a stream in on what was supposed to be a thing that they were hosting. I'm also joined by Asylum Gaming and one of my Discord mods, Mac and Cheese. We played a variety of decks, including a $50 budget list, an upgraded precon, and some normal casual level EDH decks. Nonetheless, this was a cool game that featured some of the lesser used commanders from the set. Enjoy the show. If you enjoy the content, consider checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/thepossibilitystorm. I have revamped all of the tiers and added new ones with tons of cool benefits and physical rewards as well. Thank you for those who have already pledged, and thank you to everyone who drops a like, subscription, and a comment here on the channel. It all helps us grow. Now let's check out our commanders. First up is Cam from Asylum Gaming playing his Is It Gandalf the Grey deck. This commander has a variety of functions based on casting instants or sorceries, along with the ability to put itself on top of its owner's library as a way to reset the abilities. Alternatively, it can be bounced to hand and recast. Either way, this Spellslinger list looks to interact with the board and utilize these abilities for more value off of each spell cast, eventually making large amounts of mana to cast a large fireball or other X-spell to finish off the table. I'm next, and I put together a deck with Shelob at the helm, which is sort of a spider tribal deck but has a food sub-theme. This set brought with it new ways to create food tokens and more ways to utilize them rather than just gaining life. Our commander has Death Touch and Ward and gives this effect to all spiders, and then whenever creatures damaged by spiders die, we get a copy of them that are also food. So not only can we steal creatures, but we can sacrifice them at will or dump them into other outlets. As such, I've included many spiders, but also cards like Mask with Nexus to make everything into a spider. I also included cards that let us hit with our toughness instead of power so that we can put more pressure on the table. In C3 is Tim from Your Dead Next Turn, piloting his budget Samwise deck. This deck also likes food tokens. Samwise creates them on creature ETBs, but can also be used to sack 3 food tokens to return historic cards from graveyard to your hand. The rest of the deck is typical Selesnya stuff with 1/1 counter synergies and the ability to go wide to beat face without having to worry about things dying due to the commander's recursion. Last but not least is Mac and Cheese piloting an upgraded precon that has Sauron the Dark Lord at the helm instead of the original general. Just like more competitive versions of this list, it aims to get Sauron on the board so that an orc army can be amassed each time any opponent casts any spell. From there, it's typical Grixis good stuff, including counterspells, reanimation, and card advantage. You can end the game on the spot if the Nicaeus and Triskelion combo can be assembled. So there you have it. Let's see who the casual champion is this time.
I'll draw, and I'm going to play a Misty Rainforest, and I'm going to go ahead and crack it now to go get a tap land and pass.
Move to my turn, and then draw. We are going to play a tapped Overgrown Tomb and pass.
I will draw. I will play a forest, and I will pass.
Draw for turn. I will play a Triumph, enters tapped, pass.
Untap and draw. I'll play a island, and then I'll tap for 2 to play a Mind Stone,
Nice.
and I'll pass.
Alright, move to my turn and draw. I will play a Swarm Yard, which is that regenerate spider land, and tap 2 for Talisman. And I'll pass.
I will draw. I will play a Plains, and I will tap 2, and I'll be the first to play my commander, Samwise Gamgee.
I will untap, draw for turn. I will play a River Glide Pathway. I will tap for 2 and play an Arcane Signet. And then if Arcane Signet is good, I shall pass.
Draw. I'll play a Myriad Landscape tapped, and I will pass.
Untap, draw. We're gonna pay 3 and play a Growing Rights. ETB, look at top 4, reveal a creature, put it in my hand, put the rest on the bottom. Well, I like that creature. We'll reveal a Delighted Halfling. That'll go into my hand. I cannot do anything else. I will pass.
I will untap. I will draw my card. I will play a forest. I will tap 2, and Samwise needs his buddy Frodo. When he enters, I can make a food token, so I will do that. And then I will also get a Ring Bearer. I will give it to Frodo. I'm going to look for the token, and I will hit, Frodo's going against Sauron, so I will hit Mac and Cheese for 2 with Samwise.
Thematic. I kind of feel like I just gotta swing at you because, I attacked Samwise and Frodo. So I guess Gandalf's got to go against Sauron too. That just kind of leaves me to myself.
And I will pass my turn.
Untap, draw for turn. I will play a Sulphurous Springs as land for turn. Play a Fellwar Stone, and then I will pass the turn.
Untap, draw. I'll play a Takassia's Dig Site, and then I will pay 2 tap and sacrifice Myriad Landscape to get 2 basic lands that share land type. So I'm going to go grab 2 islands. They will enter tapped. And then I'll pay 2 to play a Firebrand Archer. And I will pass while I shuffle.
Turn, draw. I'm going to play a Delighted Halfling. Shocker. And then I would like to tap 2 for a Golgari Signet. And I'll pass.
I'll untap. Draw. I will play a Plains. I will tap 2, and I will play Prosperous Innkeeper. When that comes in, I will make a food, and I will make a treasure. Then I will tap another 2 for Prized Pig. Comes in, makes a food, and I will gain 1 life. Send Samwise at you, Island, for 2.
I'm taking 2.
And then I will pass my turn.
Untap. Draw for turn. Play a swamp as land for turn. Tapping 3 for Jessica's Will, targeting Island. Make 6 red. Blue, black, and then 4 red. Go down to just 2. Cast my commander. And then if my commander is good, lose this mana, and I will pass the turn.
4, 5 to bring out Gandalf.
Trigger Sauron, a mass orc 1.
And then I am going to simply pass the turn.
Untap and draw. Where are my lands? Not here. So, I'm going to tap out. Okay, so we're going to play a Canopy Spider, which is 1 of the green and 1. And then a Spore Web Weaver, which is 1 of the green and then 2. I got 5 in hand. I will pass turn.
Untap. Draw a card. I will tap out, sacrificing the treasure, and I will play a Feasting Troll, triggering Samwise and gaining a life. I will play my land for turn. That's my turn.
Untap. Draw for turn.
Oh, that actually creates me 3 more treasure. 3 more.
Play a City of Brass as land for turn. Cast Micaeus the Unhallowed. Go to combat. I'm going to swing Sauron over at... And then I'm going to swing a 4/4 over at Isling. I'll just move to damage and discard my hand. An Otawara, a Dig Through Time, and and then the Malakir Rebirth, and then draw 4. I guess I'll make my Orc Army legendary. I shall pass there.
Alright. Untap. Beautiful. Play Reliquary Tower. 2. To play a Talisman of Creativity. That is a non-creature spell, so it will trigger Firebrand Archer and deal 1 damage to each opponent. Play Sulfum Mayhem Dominus. I will pass.
Untap. Draw for turn. Cast a Snare Spinner. I will pass turn, but on the beginning of my end step, I had control 4 creatures, so I will flip Burning Rights. And it's now Cradle.
Yeah. I'll pay 6. And I'll play an Orchid Strider. Comes in, create 2. Well, Samwise hits. Then when it enters, it gains 2. And then I will go to combat. And I will send Feasting Troll King at Mac and Cheese for 7. And that's my turn.
Untap. Draw for turn. Play a Mountain as land for turn. I'm going to play a Toxrill the Corrosive. I think I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to swing the 8/8 Orc Army at Asylum this time. Then I'm also going to swing Sauron. I guess let's swing at Tim again.
I'm going to block with the Firebrand Archer since it's going to die anyways when Toxrill puts its counters out.
I'm about to do the same thing with Prosperous Innkeeper.
That's the end of my turn. I pass there. At instep though, Toxrill triggers. And then...
I have a response, like moving to end step, I guess.
Okay, so before Toxrill.
Yeah, I would like to Beast Within, target the Micaeus. Nothing dies on my board.
So I'll untap and draw. I'll cast Solve the Equation, and I'm going to trigger Gandalf. Gandalf copies Solve the Equation. So I will have 2 copies of Solve the Equation to search for 2 cards, put them in my hand. So the first one will be Resculpt. I guess I'll get Crackle with Power. Pass a turn.
At instep, trigger Toxrill.
One of my guys died. My commander is going back to the command zone.
My halfling dies.
So that is 2 creatures that died. So I make 2 more pests up to slugs up to 3.
Into my turn and draw and cast a Finale. X equals 6. We go and get Kogla, who can fight Toxrill and kill him. They kill each other, yes, but I'm taking one for the team, and I hope that's recognized. That is what I can do. I'll pass.
I will draw. Cast my commander again. Cracking a treasure. Food. Gaining 3 life. When I do that, I will put ribbon counters on my prize pig. I will go to combat. I am going to send a 6-4 your way. Islam, I'm going to send a 7-6 trampler.
I'll just walk with this guy, and I'll take 4.
That is my turn, so I will pass.
Untap. Draw for turn. Play Command Tower as land for turn. Play Relic of Sauron. Tap Relic for 2. Play a Call of the Ring. Then I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to swing the 12-12 Orc Army over at 10.
I'm just going to block with Frodo.
I will pass there.
On your end step, I will tap for a blue and Mystical Tutor. And that is going to trigger Gandalf. I'm going to have Gandalf do 3 damage to each opponent, but because of Soulful, or however you say it, it's going to deal 6 damage to each opponent. I'm going to grab Banefire, and that is on top. I'm going to untap, draw the Banefire. I will cast Displace, and then that triggers Gandalf.
I mean, the trigger will still happen, but I'm going to counterspell the Displace.
Trigger happens to untap. Which one do I want to untap? I'll untap my land. Cast Ponder. Triggers Gandalf. I'm going to put Gandalf on the top of my library. I'm going to look at the top 3 cards. Those can stay. And then I'll draw a card. The card being Gandalf, obviously. Recast Gandalf. Pass the turn.
Untap and draw. Invasion of Ikoria, X equals 4. I would like to go get Ancient Lumberknot. This makes my creatures hit with their butts. It's a 1/4. I think at this point I just pass the turn.
Untap, draw. And I'm going to play Aragorn, Company Leader. That's going to trigger Samwise, so I will get another food. I am then going to sacrifice 3 food to return a target historic card. I'm going to put Frodo back in my hand. I am then going to pay 2 and play Frodo, getting another food. The ring tempts me again. That will be my second one. And I will choose Frodo again. Go to combat. The Orchid Strider and Feasting Troll King all at Asylum. That is 13. That is my turn, so I will pass.
I will untap. Upkeep trigger. I get tempted. Call of the Ring. In the beginning of my upkeep, the ring tempts you. I'm going to switch the ring bearer to one of these pests. So I have 2 pests and then 1 legendary 1/1 pest. I get the second ability on the ring. And when I get tempted, that'll trigger Sauron. I will choose to discard my hand, which I have none, and then draw 4 cards. And then I will draw for turn. I played land for turn. Training Center. It's tap 2. For a Talisman of Dominance. 9 mana. For a Portal to Phyrexia. Artifact that on ETB, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. At the beginning of my upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. ETB, each opponent discard or sacrifices 3 creatures.
Yeah, Gandalf will go back to the command zone, though.
Samwise will go to the command zone. Prize Pig will go to the graveyard, and so is Orchid Strider.
Yeah, I have to sack everything.
I think Tim is still got the best board state. So I'm going to swing the 18/18 over at Tim. I'm also going to swing my Ring Bearer, which can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. It's a 1/1. And then also on attack, I will draw a card and then discard this Morphic Pool. And
really
then this 1/1's also going at Tim.
Okay.
And then I will swing the 7/6 Sauron over at Asylum.
I will block with Frodo.
Alright, in response to blocks, I will tap 1 and I will Pongify your other creature.
Which one? I have 2. I have the Feasting Troll and Aragorn.
Aragorn. I will pass there.
Tap. Play a Felwar Stone.
I make an army.
I'm going to replay Gandalf. Pass the turn.
Untap, draw. Ikra. Anyways, I'm passing.
untap, draw. So we're gonna pay 3. We're gonna play Jaheira, Friend of the Forest. We are then going to tap 3 of my food to play a Cultivate Plains and a Forest. I'm gonna put the Forest in the battlefield tapped, Plains to my hand. I'm gonna play the Plains. I'm gonna replay Samwise. I think I'm gonna sack 3 of them, 3 of the food, to bring back Aragorn to my hand. I'm gonna sacrifice another 3 to bring back Frodo to my hand. And then I'm gonna go to combat. I think I'm just gonna hang tight. I'm gonna hang tight. I'll pass.
I will untap. I'm going to have 2 triggers in my upkeep. I will have the Portal to Phyrexia trigger resolve first. Reanimate target creature card. I'm going to get back a Toxrill. And then also the Call of the Ring will trigger. I'll get Tempted. That will trigger Sauron. I will gain the 3rd ability on the ring, but trigger Sauron, I will discard my hand. It is a Lord of the Nazgul. Draw 4 cards. And then draw for turn. Play an Underground River as land for turn. Immediately go to combat. Swing a 5/5 and a 7/6 over at Tim. The 1/1 that can't be blocked over at Islam. Trigger the ring. I will draw a card.
I'll take
and
one.
Then discard a card. I will discard this island.
A nice little draw engine.
So I'm going to block. So Sauron's just a 7/6.
7/6.
Alright, I'm gonna use Feasting Troll to kill Sauron.
Alright. They will
And
trade.
I will take the 5.
I will let him go to the graveyard. Tap a swamp for a dark ritual, and then use that 3 mana on a victimize. I will sacrifice one of these pests, or slugs. And then I am going to target Micaeus and Sauron the Dark Lord. Tap 2 for a Fairy Mastermind, 3 for a Seasoned Pyromancer.
I'll respond to the Seasoned Pyromancer. Cast a Resculpt, which will trigger Gandalf. I'm going to choose to copy Resculpt, and I'm going to exile Toxrill and Micaeus.
You'll get 2 4/4s though.
Yeah, you get a consolation prize, but they're gone for good this time.
Now am I good for Spyro to resolve?
Yes, I pass on the Spyro.
ETB, discard 2, I have no cards. I will draw 2. Play a Final Parting. I will tutor for 2 cards, put 1 into my graveyard, 1 into my hand. I'm going to entomb a Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. I'm then going to tap 1, cast a Reanimate, targeting Razaketh. I pass turn there, 1 card in hand.
Tap, draw a card. I'll just pass the turn.
Let's have a draw. Play this Obelisk Spider. or
On
Megalon
cast,
Scanners.
that'll trigger Sauron. I'll hold priority, pay 2 life, sack the army to Razaketh, and then I'll make a new one. It'll be a 1/1.
Okay.
So I get to tutor up a card.
We're gonna use the other 3 to play this Rapacious Guest.
Once again, hold priority, sack the orc army, take 2, tutor up a card.
I'm gonna move to combat. Ikra has been out, so I'm gonna swing Ikra at Asylum. For 3 with Menace.
Yeah, I can't block it then, so I take 3.
You take 3, I will gain 7 life. And then also, whenever one or more creatures I control does combat to a player, I will create a food token. That is all I got. I will pass turn.
Untap, draw. Play Brandy Wine Farmer.
Trigger, pay 2.
Yep. Make 2 more food. I'm gonna tap the 2 food for 2 floating green, then sacrifice 3. Bring back Feasting. It's gonna create a treasure. Pay 1 for Aragorn. Make a food.
Do it again.
Yep. Pay another
Pay 2.
1 and a white. Play Frodo. Ring tempts him. I'll put Death Touch on both of them. We'll just pass my turn.
Untap. The ring tempts me. I'm going to choose not to discard my hand. Draw for turn. I'm going to overload a Cyclonic Rift.
I'm going to respond to that. And I will cast Lightning Bolt. Triggers Gandalf. Each opponent loses 3 life. And the Lightning Bolt's going to deal 3 damage to your face.
I will respond to the Lightning Bolt.
Well, the 3 damage happens, right?
3 damage is a trigger that happens on cast.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took the 3. I will respond to the Lightning Bolt. by tapping a Felwar Stone, and I'm going to give you 2 treasures.
Diachromic Rift. That's such a pain in the ass. It happens.
Go to combat. 24, 25, 26. That's 26 at Tim. A 1-1 and a 1-1 over at Asylum. And then a 2-2 and a 2-1 over at Islane. Post-combat main phase, I'll tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and play a Gray Merchant of Asphodel. ETB, my devotion to black is 7. So
I'll go to
that'd be
1.
7 damage on ETB, and then I should gain 14.
I mean, you're gonna pass, we're gonna do nothing, and then you're gonna kill us. So
Yeah.
I think you got
That's
it.
pretty.